Because that's why you only have 2 residents from the community attending.
It's not
And
2
we would
residents,
want-
actually, oh, you mean 2 residents like you?
Who are non-board members.
Ah.
Because I would assume that you
Alicia, why
want
don't you
more
go back
than
to
just
the
non-board
executive
members.
board meeting and give us all a break?
You should not be so disrespectful.
I'm not being disrespectful, you're being disrespectful
No,
by
I'm not.
disturbing the meeting.
No, I'm not. I'm
Oh,
just
yes, you
asking a
are.
very
How
simple
is she
question.
disturbing the meeting?
By
She's
asking a question, I don't
asking
think I'm.
questions.
We can settle this in court on Thursday.
No, we're not selling this on court
Oh,
on
please.
Thursday. We're asking specifically, how are you reaching out to the
I know, and I told you
community
the questions
regarding
later.
these meetings and what you
And,
plan on doing?
and you'll attempt, and you'll do the agenda. If you don't do the agenda, we're not gonna accept it.
That's all we're asking.
I know.
I didn't
You
think
ask
it's
at the
I think it's a
proper time.
and it is the proper time. This is during the meeting.
No, it isn't.
Oh, it's not a meeting?
No.
It's
No,
not
no,
a meeting?
no,
The
no,
meeting
no,
hasn't
no.
begun yet?
Oh, dear.
I should wait until the meeting actually officially begins?
No, I think what you should do is follow the agenda. If
Well,
not, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave.
no, you don't.
That's
I'm
ask
not
you to
going-
leave number 1.
No, you're not
Okay?
gonna ask me to leave because
Yes,
I'm
I
asking
actually,
a question.
right now, I just asked you to leave.
Well, I'm not leaving.
Where are we
Good.
on the agenda, may I ask?
We're on the first item.
Isn't
Okay.
that welcome and introduction of members?
Well,
Yes,
who
it
are the
is.
members?
So my question is that you can either follow the agenda or you can leave.
Who are the members of this committee?
I'll tell you, I'll go over that in a second. Just relax.
Was there an agenda for the executive board meeting? Did you see an agenda?
No, I didn't get it. But you at least
How are you?
got that.
I'm fine.
right?
Good.
Did
Excuse
you
me.
get that? Did you get that?
I got the Parks and Recreation, but I was wondering if it was one.
No, I didn't get one. Yeah, let me go and see if there's one on the table.
Maybe it was just all these rules and leave over.
Oh, the agenda, Alicia,
Huh?
I think I have a copy
Oh, okay.
of the agenda back there.
Yeah, for executive committee.
Thank you. So we can just have a copy.
You can have it.
Oh, okay, thanks. This is the same one? This is the Parks and Recreation.
Oh.
Yeah, I wanted to. I don't know
Did you
if they
guys
had
create
one.
this right here?
Thank
Did
you.
you create this?
Get out.
Let's see if this works.
Oh, the other one didn't work?
Yeah, the outlet's not working.
Probably the circuit, where's the circuit breaker?
I don't know. No, the top one, the bottom one is working, but the top one is not. Or this would be the projector. That we'll see.
Working?
Yeah. Give that back to me, please. Thank you. You just don't grab my stuff.
I didn't know it was your stuff. I
But
thought
I'd
it
be
was
happy
for
to
you
give
to
you
do
one.
agenda.
No. There's this.
Don't throw things at me, it's impolite.
Oh, I think
Rule-
that.
Read
I
your
think-
rules of order.
I think that's.
Don't
I think
intentionally
that's.
try to
Then don't grab my
intimidate
stuff,
me.
me, okay?
Be
I'm
like
not
a
intimidating
professional.
you. I'm very
No, you're not.
professional.
You're not, no, but that's your intent.
If you want to do this, you can leave also. So that's
I'm not
number one
leaving,
for
I'm
you.
part of the community.
Okay, let's go.
And I don't want things thrown at me. It's
Oh,
disrespectful.
and I don't like things
and it
being
sets the
stolen
tone.
from me.
Excuse me, I
Just what I
did
said,
not
you just
steal
reached over
anything.
to my papers and took them.
Here's sign in, I thought it was
Okay, let's go.
informational material.
So anyway, so let's start off the meeting. Now the meeting has officially started. And I welcome Alicia Boyd and her friend, who I don't know her name, but you welcome here. So this is our first meeting. As I was saying before, that the Parks Committee has not been really doing anything in the past. So while I was the head of the Economic Development Committee, that's running very well. and we're doing very good things, and Pia has developed into a good chair, so she's doing the chair, and I volunteered to do parks. For the purpose of being is getting CB9 involved in Prospect Park and all the other parks. What I've been reading is that there's a lot of money being thrown at the parks, and I know there's been, and Matt is here because I think there was like $2.5 or $3.5 million allocated to our side of the park.
Yeah, for
Something like
a number
that.
of projects.
Right,
So
for a
could
number
you
of projects.
introduce yourself and every, that's Matt? You
know,
can go,
excuse
could we
me,
all
we
introduce
don't
ourselves?
need an MC here. Okay, what I'm doing is
You
looking for the
said
names.
welcome and introduction. I don't know the people at the table.
Now listen, Miss Patience, I was just looking for the names.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
To answer your past question. Okay, so the members of the Parks and Recreation Committee are myself, Aaron Hirschkorb, Lois Johnson, Linda Lawson, and Mary Rollins Blackett.
Are these all board members?
Yes, he can only be a board member for that part. The residents, I do not know what's been appointed or not at this point. I don't know if there's any applications who want to do it, who want to be on the parks, but we'll find that out in the near future as soon as the executive board does that.
What do you
Okay.
mean the executive board does what?
They go through the applications of the committees of who applied.
And
I'm not getting into this. Okay, so the next thing on the agenda, okay,
it's gonna be a mystery.
it is a mystery.
How-
It's
how
like you,
board
Alicia, it's a
members-
mystery.
how board
Okay,
members-
where
how
all
non-board
this
members can be on
expertise
the
comes
committee.
from, and I really was impressed with the traffic analysis today. Good one. Okay, so the review of the program areas, let's just go to this sheet.
We don't have that sheet.
Alicia does, and I don't think I have any more, so you may want to share it.
Well, you can always make another one.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna do that right now. I'll make you one after the meeting. Okay, so anyway,
Here,
well, you don't have to, it's not such a big deal here, because I'll tell you
here.
what.
You want, here,
Okay, so with
Maxine,
this sheet's from,
thank you.
excuse me, we're talking.
and I'm trying to pass out, disseminate
I know,
information
maybe you could
that
do it
you
without
are not
disturbing
disseminating.
everybody.
Well, if you were providing the information to us, we wouldn't have to.
You just had it, in fact, you just passed it, so you're
Well,
wrong.
everyone should. know.
Okay, so the Parks and Cultural and other committee facilities, what this is an outline from the city.
Oh, no, I don't have one.
No, she
I
just gave it
you
away. So what this
So-
is, this is from the city.
This is from the
And what
city.
this does is outline the typical things that the Parks Committee does. All right, parks and other community facilities. So what we want to do here is, number one, familiarize ourselves. And then at the next meeting, if you go through this list and anything sticks out at you in terms of what's going in our community with our parks, etc., or the cultural events or anything else, let's bring that to the table at the next meeting. All right? Okay. The next one is, we have Matt here from Prospect Park Alliance. Matt is the Director of Government Relations, and he's been kind enough to come over and give us an overview of what's going on. Is this set?
The PowerPoint's not working, so.
Is the thing in? Oh.
Yeah, but once it pops up, you get this message.
Oh.
And then it shuts down.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Doesn't look like folks trying to share.
I guess we can.
I don't
looked it
know,
over.
I don't understand that.
So I can just talk
Culture.
through.
Yeah, let's talk through it. So Matt had a PowerPoint with just essentially with pictures of the facilities we're gonna talk about. So he can just talk through it with us and we can just get an overview.
Okay, so my name's Matt Ojala. I'm with the Prospect Park Alliance, and I was invited here today to talk about some of the capital projects that are happening in Prospect Park. Fortunately, we have a lot of good projects that are happening right now, doing a lot of work throughout the park. So I was just going to go through some of the projects that are happening right now in the park, and to the best of my ability, whatever questions you might have, be able to answer those questions. So we'll go through these projects one by one, and starting out with.
Do we have a copy of that?
No.
Can
I
I
didn't
touch
ask-
your
Did you
stuff?
get a copy?
I
These
didn't
were
ask
my
them to
notes.
submit it.
This one?
Yes.
Well,
May I
how will
touch
we
your
know
stuff?
what you're
Yes, you
talking
can. You
about?
can take one.
I mean, are we supposed to just
Yeah.
memorize
No,
it?
you don't, Matt, you're not required to have a copy of it. Okay, I can request it, so don't worry about it.
Is this?
Because what we're gonna do
the
is
same
take
thing as
notes.
this?
No, that's from something else.
Oh,
So go ahead, Matt. And Matt, if you feel under duress or abuse, just let me know, and we'll ask Alicia to move a second time, and hopefully the third time the police will come.
I'm not
Go
sure if
ahead,
asking
Matt.
for information should cause him to.
No, but you keep interrupting. That's rude, Alicia.
If I had the sheet
Yeah.
of paper that he had.
Okay, so
You
these were
said-
my notes for the presentation.
Oh,
so-
okay, well, that's all he had, that's all he said, and I responded,
Okay,
okay.
Alicia.
But I have the right to ask.
Let's go.
So the first project that I'd like to talk about is the well house.
Okay.
The well house is located on Well House Drive in the park.
Uh-huh.
It's one of the oldest buildings in Prospect Park.
Where is it?
And it's on Well House Drive.
I mean, where would we get
It's
the
just north of the lake in the park.
Do you have a map that we can see it?
Unfortunately,
No, it's all on here, but it's not working.
so
So what you said.
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, when you say the
I'm sorry,
north,
Alicia,
what
could you
part?
please hold on a
I
second?
just need to know what he's
No,
talking
you
about.
don't need to know that.
I
You're
do
just
need
being
to
rude.
know.
Say that again, please.
Am I permitted to ask an answer question?
Of course.
Well, I was asking a question.
I know,
I was
but
asking
you've
exactly
been, you've
where
been
this
talking since you've been here, so
well
let's give
house
someone else
is
a
at.
chance. Go
I
ahead.
have two concerns. There is one person who's been contacted. I think they've been going through the councilman, and then they have some trees on their block that they may trim, and then for the longest while.
Is that
And
Parks?
Yeah, and then for me on my block, I did call and I asked them because in the winter, summertime it's okay, but in the winter time it's very dark because there are some two big trees. And
He's
it's
from the
dark.
Alliance, not the Parks
Yeah, actually, I'm
Department.
over for the parks.
So if you send it to, if you send that to me,
No,
I'll
but
do it.
okay, so I'll tell you then because we did call, but what happened? They went during the day,
Uh-huh.
and they called me and they said, well, it's resolved because that the lights are out in the open, but in the night because of the branches,
Yeah.
it's blocking the light and it's very dark and it's very dangerous in the middle of the block.
okay,
So you will address that. Thank you.
you got a deal. Okay, Matt.
All right, so continuing on with the well house, it's one of the oldest buildings in Prospect Park, and it's being renovated for public use as a restroom. And what we're doing there is it's actually going to be the first composting toilet facility in a New York City park. So we're excited about that. The building will be opening soon in the next couple of months, and it's going to be a good asset for the community who can use it as a restroom space. It's going to restore this historic structure, and it's going to bring modern environmental technology.
What is it used
into
for
the
now,
park.
if I could ask?
It's been under construction.
For how long?
At least a few years. There's been some contracting issues with it.
So what was it ever used for?
Maybe a well house.
Right. I don't know all the prior uses of the facility. So I can be. I'm happy to follow up with you later.
Could you define well house?
I'm going to move on with the presentation.
Go ahead.
Okay, so you said you'll get back to the community and let us know what it was,
No,
what
he
was
said he'll get back to
functioning?
you.
And who's funded that program?
That was funded through the city council.
Which city council person?
Through
Matt, just go
the
on with the
39th council
program,
district.
okay?
So the
Excuse
garage
me,
fund-
we have the right to ask him where the
You have the
funding
right to
came
ask
from.
questions after the presentation. So stop interrupting, please.
This is a part of the
Stop
presentation.
interrupting. We'd like to get through this.
You know,
Thank you.
It's ridiculous if we can't ask
Alicia,
questions.
if you can't, no, you can ask questions afterwards.
You know, we're
like
asking the
everybody
questions
else.
while it's happening.
Alicia,
So these-
would you
this is a very
please
informal
stop being
process.
disorderly?
I'm not being disorderly.
and
I
leave?
asked him
I know.
who
The
sat
questions are
here
after
and
the meeting. If
funded
you
the
don't like it, I'll
program.
ask you again to leave.
I have the right to ask who funded the program.
Okay, you can
Is
ask,
this
but you're not
city
getting
money?
any answers until he's finished his presentation, like the rest of us.
Yeah. Well, it
Please,
doesn't seem
Matt,
like
please
the rest of us
continue.
want to know anything.
I know, that's a.
Unless, of course, you know everything.
It's 100%
Well, based on
accurate.
your agenda, it would seem that questions would be asked
No,
as we
excuse me.
go
Now,
through
just
the
continue.
items. It never says here that
Just
all
continue,
questions
just
to the end.
continue and stop with this stuff.
Well, why
Why
can't
don't
he
you-
answer which council
Because we want to have the presentation. That's
you don't
why.
even have you don't even have you projected to do a presentation.
Oh, I know.
Hello.
Which
I
also
know,
puts
it's so-
us at a
it's so
disadvantage because I don't
terrible.
even know where the well house is.
Okay.
And I can't even ask where the well house physically is located.
Okay, it's
so
north,
I can
it's
go and
north
see
of
for
the lake,
myself.
he said. If you
He
listen,
said on
you
the
get
north.
it.
I don't know where that's at.
Well, go
He
take a
can
look
give
at
me
north of the lake, you'll
you know,
find it.
okay.
Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah.
Another
I
project.
do apologize.
Thanks.
Really? You
Okay.
apologize and you're the one who's causing all the
Definitely,
stress?
definitely.
Maxine, do you happen to have another
Go ahead.
pen?
So the next project I'd like to talk about is restorations that are happening along Flatbush Avenue, the perimeter, and also along Ocean Avenue, the perimeter. And so these are Flatbush Avenue, Ocean Avenue, are major vehicular, subway, pedestrian corridors, and so they're important parts of the park, a way for people to get into the park, to travel around. In their current condition, unfortunately, they are both not in great condition. There are cracked sidewalks. The fences are in pretty rough shape. Pedestrian lighting is not where we'd like it to be. And so through funding, through the borough president, Councilmember Lori Cumbo, for Flatbush Avenue, and then the borough president and Matthew Eugene to fund Ocean Avenue, we're going to be restoring both the Flatbush and Ocean Avenue perimeters so that they're in good shape and that it's safer for the community.
How much funding
So-
did those guys give you?
The Flatbush was 2.4
Thank you.
million total.
2.4
Yes.
million.
And Ocean Avenue was $1.75 million total.
And that's where I get the 3.5.
In both of these projects, Flatbush Avenue restoration is in design right now,
in design.
and Ocean Avenue, the funding was just allocated this year, so we're going to be start to design that project. The next project are the Long Meadow ball fields in Dog Beach. So the Long Meadow ball fields are a great place for recreation activity, for baseball, softball, soccer. We have 7 fields, and also Dog Beach is located right there, and it's a place for dog owners to take their dogs and let them go in the water.
By the 9th Street entrance. Right?
Yes. And so we have been working to restore these fields. Unfortunately, the drainage on these fields is not great. And through funding from the city council, we have been able to start work on restoring these fields. We have already restored Field 1 that was reopened to the public earlier this year. And we started construction on Fields 6 and 7. And we also finished construction early on Dog Beach and reopened it to the public just like a week ago. So,
And who did the funding for the building?
City Council,
Which
Brooklyn
city?
delegation, Councilmember Brad Lander.
Brad Lander. And it was called the Brooklyn delegation. And who did for the Field 1?
Same entities.
Same and 6 and 7 as well.
Yes.
So Brad Lander was basically doing
Yes.
this. Okay.
The next project is the carousel, which is a historic carousel in the park. It's a great place for birthday parties and for other events. And there have been some structural and mechanical issues with the carousel. And it was last restored in 1990. And so we were thankful to get funding for that from Councilmember Lori Cumbo. and so we're going to be restoring the carousel and fixing these issues so that we can keep it open for the kids.
And how much did she donate?
$500,000. The next project is the tea house. The tea house, previously known as the Oriental Pavilion, is located just off of the East Drive and north of Lakeside Center, and it's a venue for all sorts of events and gatherings, weddings, picnics,
That over
and
Fifth
it's
Avenue? Like you could walk from Fifth Avenue to it? Is that the one you're talking about?
it's north of the Lincoln Road entrance.
It's on our side of the park.
It's
Oh, on our side of it?
just above Lakeside,
Exactly.
that building, it's just a building that you can walk through.
It's a historic structure.
Okay, so you can just walk through it?
Right,
Looks like
right.
a
It's
shed.
not an enclosed?
No, it's
Right,
not.
right.
Oh, okay, okay.
And it's there became over years of usage, it has gotten into pretty bad shape, and we actually deemed it unsafe for the public, so it's been shut off. Unfortunately, we received funding, $2 million from the Brooklyn delegation and the city council to restore this structure and bring it back to its former self.
And this was sponsored by Brad Lander as well?
The Brooklyn delegation of the city council, so it's all of the city council members.
Oh, okay, so it's all the city council.
Yes. And then I have a couple more. So Lefferts Historic House is a historic house located in the children's corner of Prospect Park, which is just off of
Zoo, right?
right next to the zoo, right off of Flatbush.
Yeah.
And it's actually built by a Dutch family in the 18th century, and it was in Flatbush, and they relocated it to the Children's Corner. So it's one of the historic houses in New York City, and we provide educational programs, teaching kids how to, make candles, garden. We have historic artifacts, period rooms at the house, and it's a great asset for our organization and for especially children who get to learn about what's going on, what Brooklyn used to be like. And so this was another project where
Is there a fee for the children? Do you bring in public schools? How does the children?
it's free public programs.
Is it free public
Yeah.
program? Do you have any handouts?
Not on me, but I can share it with you. So the roof is in really, really bad shape. If you walk past it, also the facade of the building, it's in rough shape as well. And so we received $2.5 million from the Brooklyn delegation again and the city council to restore this building, to replace the roof, to paint the building, and to do other fixes that are needed.
And was that sponsored by a particular council person, or was just again the Brooklyn delegation?
Yeah, it's the Brooklyn delegation. It's all 16 members of the Brooklyn delegation.
All 16 members?
Yep.
Okay.
And then the last one is Parks Without Borders, and that is a Parks Department initiative to make